it's Sarada and I scribble. And it's 11 p.m. on Monday evening and I am just now filming this video. And it's a sketchbook tour because it is honestly the only thing I can manage right now. I was at a wedding on Saturday. My best friend got married and I'm so happy for him and it was so fun to be there, but I am an extremely inverted person and I was around a lot of people for a lot of hours, so I still haven't recovered and I feel so bad because I want to make good videos. But yeah, so that's why. That's why this video is late. That's why I shouldn't say it's just a sketchbook tour, because sketchbook tour seems to be some of the videos you like the most, so I'm just gonna get on with it. This was the sketchbook I finished on Monday last week, so I'm gonna flip through all the pages and talk a little bit about at least the first 20 something because they're more detailed and stuff. But yeah, I had this sketchbook from the end of June till last week of August, so 6-7 weeks I think. When I started this sketchbook, I had just gotten back into writing or rewriting for the billionth time my Bokura no Monogatari stories. I harp on it, but day 1 and 2 are available for reading. Day 3 and 4 should be soon as I proofread them one more time and make corrections. But yeah, so these drawings here are based off of the first story. And I also did a timeline here of Tsukino because Tsukino cut her hair really early in April, just before, or rather she cut her hair before she started her first year of high school. And it was really short. It was like I can actually zoom in and show you. Let's make this casual and long. But yeah, she cut her hair really, really short. And I just wanted a timeline for the first few stories. So there's another one. That's for day 1 basically. And then, oh, I'm hitting the leg of the tripod here, but this is basically what she normally looks like. So her hair is like around her shoulders, a little bit past, a little bit above. And this image here is of her and Yoda. I also tried to draw her in the school uniform because originally when I wrote them they didn't have school uniforms, but they are based in Japan, so I decided to get no school uniforms. But I always forget that they actually do wear school uniforms, so I decided to draw her in that. And then here, let me zoom out so you can see the whole thing first. Here's another spread. First on this page is for day 2. It's like one of the first scenes you get. And basically it's Yoda hugging Tsukino and Maira, and Maira is doing the heart eyes. I'm not sure how well that shows up, but she is doing the heart eyes because she is super blissed out, and then Tsukino is just done. She's done because she doesn't appreciate it. And then in this story I introduce another character, which she's never had an image. She's always just been like a name, and she's been a character without visual reference. Is that a thing? But it's this woman down here, and this is Keiko. Keiko. I've always had trouble with that name, I'm sorry. She is Yoda's piercer. She has done all his piercings. She owns a tattoo piercing parlor sort of thing. But yeah, so this is Keiko, and she is a lop-eared bunny rabbit, and I love her very much. I have another picture of her on the next page. On this page I did a bunch of thumbnails, and if you can read what I've written, it says Dear Young Me. And that is because I did a picture of Yoda called Dear Young Me. I'm sorry for what I made you do, I think was the full title of the video. You can watch that. And I just thumbed out all of the other characters, but I ended up doing just Yoda as a finished piece because that one was the one that spoke to me the most. And I titled all of them, so I'll zoom in so you can see them a little bit better. So basically, the Dear Young Me thing was that Sigma and Yoda were having a conversation about what they would say to themselves if they met their younger self, like 10 years in the past. If you could go back, what would you say to yourself? And Mayra would say, "You'll be amazing." Yoru would say, "I'm sorry." And then down here we have Epsilon, who would say, "Keep dreaming," because one of Epsilon's biggest dreams is to become a musician, and he gets there slowly but surely. And then Sigma would say, "I'm okay." Tsubasa would say, "You're never alone," and Tsubasa has this kind of fear that he will be very lonely, that he won't have anyone, but obviously he will. And then down here there is Kazu, who says, "Don't worry," and Tsukino, it gets better, because she had it rough too. Like most of these kids have it rough in some kind of way, because I am apparently a horrible parent, but basically that's it. Well, let's see if we can get to flipping through this. Oh yeah, and here is visual reference for Keiko-san. And I don't know, she just turned out so cool, and I gave her this sort of space galaxy sleeve. It starts off like kind of, I want her to have like a galaxy up here, and then it goes like planets, and then a UFO, and trees, and like a cow being abducted by the UFO. I really want that for her. Lots of earrings. I think that's why I wanted her to be a loop-eared bunny too, because I could give her many earrings because she had such big ears. This page is just notes for a video I wanted to do. It was on constructive criticism and unsolicited criticism, and that was the period where I was so down about myself, about my about the fact that I can't talk. I can't talk, so I never really did anything with it. But it's a good reminder, nonetheless, to myself. And because I was feeling so down, I was having a bit of an art slump as well, so I decided to get back into what I'm good at, and it did help me that I'm getting a bunch of Sonic games this year. Mania is tomorrow, and Forces is hopefully this winter, unless they push it. But deep down, I am a Sonic fangirl. I can't deny it, and what got me into art was drawing Sonic stuff. So it is always my fallback plan when I feel like I can't draw, when everything I do is absolute shit. I do this because I know I have established for myself that this is something I can do, and I'm sorry, I'm probably blinding you. I use the silver pen so much on this. But yeah, that's why this thing is up here. I'm not sure if you can read it, but it says therapy. And basically, doing Sonic art is art therapy for me. It calms me down, it makes me happy, because I can see that I can still draw when I do Sonic stuff, because I did it so much and it is so etched into my soul as an artist. It just flows. And I did this spread, and this is my first OC. My very, very first OC. Really Fakes. And she's my baby. She is probably a character that represents me a lot too, because I grew up with her, she grew up with me, so she's a big part of me. But yeah, I really like this spread. I did a very bad drawing here, so that's why this is pink, because it's a piece of paper I taped down. I mostly used the Pigma microns on this. Her hair is the Tombow Fudenosuke, and of course her shiny, oh god, now I can't get it to, there we go. Her leg is, see, words. Her leg is the silver Sakura Jelly Roll, and you can see an outline here too. I outlined this one with gold, and it actually turned out really nice as well. But yeah, so I did this spread, and it made me really happy. Now this one you have seen, most of it anyway. I did this for a video on YouTube as well. Basically, I got into Stardew Valley again. I spent probably 80-90 hours playing that before it died down again. I'm still playing it on and off a little bit at a time, but not the amount of hours I sank into it at that point. Basically, well, you can watch that video to see an explanation. I never finished though. This last part, I can't remember if I talked about it in the video, but basically I had one little thing left to draw and I never did. So in this comic, Noreen, who is the farmer I'm playing, went and bought chicks at Marnie's, and when she goes to leave, Shane shows up and tells her that the chicks have names, and basically, I love Shane. Yeah, I'm dumb, I'm silly, I'm sorry, Let's move on. Oh, and now we're gonna get quite a few pages of Alex and Lucas actually, because I wanted to work on them. So I started drawing Alex here because I still need to work on his hair. His hair is very difficult to draw. I love the style, but it's difficult. And I also wanted to work with Alex's style because he has a very non-gender conformative style. He likes wearing not questionable clothing, but here is an example where he's wearing, you know, when you have shorts that look like a skirt. That is what I gave him, and then I also gave him knee-high socks. He looks really girly here though. But I gave him a nice dress shirt as well and stuff like that. I just wanted to play around a little bit with... Oh, why am I doing this? Move on. But yeah, so it started with that, and then I realized it looked horrible. Like, what has happened? So I went on the nets and looked for references, and this page made me realize how long it has been since I've just done post-studies. It made me realize how horrible my art has gotten again, and I just spent a lot of time doing post-studies. So, since this page was full of Alex, I decided to draw Lucas a couple of times. Lucas is of course the boy with the side part, and Alex does the slicked back thing. I love how you can see my hand shadows here. I'm trying to keep out of the light. But yeah, so there's a tiny fly here. So I decided to draw them. They look a lot more realistic here because I used references. But I think that is the style I want for them too. I did add a bit of, he has a gold chain thing and he has a silver one. There we go. So yeah, that is what is shiny down here. I think this image spawned my first idea of them being gay, together gay, because I like the idea. I think that kind of relationship would fit them. Because I have a lot of male characters who are really good friends. So I think, because these guys would have the same dynamic, and it would be all the same. It would be the same as always. So I decided that, let's take it a step further. Let's make them a couple. So Lucas and Alex are now a couple. It's canon, if you will. And unless you can't read what I've written, it says, "I like your ears," and Lucas is telling him to stop because Lucas does not like his ears. And then on this, more Lucas and Alex, because why not, right? Oh yeah, here, officially, they gay now, because I say so. I have that power, delicious power. I found a really cute kissing reference, and it just, yes, it had to happen. More reference drawings, a love umbrella, because I could, and yeah, just more Lucas and Alex. This one was really difficult and it's super messy, but I think I got the feeling across and I really like that. Again, if you can't read my handwriting, Alex is saying to Lucas, "Why are you hiding? Don't worry so much," and then Lucas is replying, "I look dumb," because he's being weird about his ears. He has a lot of anxiety about his ears, and Alex just tells Lucas not to worry about it because Alex likes Lucas' ears. This up here, I think I wrote something. Yeah, I think I wrote something and it turned out bad, so I wrote it on a piece of paper and stuck it in there, but it just says "Smile and Yankee," Little Yankee, because that is the title of their story as of right now. Might change it. Oh, here's another Sonic spread. Honestly, I still feel bad about my art. I don't know why. I need to practice, basically. That is what I feel. I need to practice a lot. This is another one of my very first OCs, Haibara Rin. And she has gone through so many changes. I actually changed her when I did this spread because she's a hedgehog and she doesn't really look like a hedgehog anymore. She did before, she did in the past, but I think when I moved her to be an pure anthro character, I changed her spines and it just didn't quite suit her. So I gave her more proper hedgehog spines, and I like that much better. And then I drew a little bit more here, and I think it died off a little bit after that. But more of my OCs. These are just some of my very first, and then this is a very bad one, really, because I think I was trying a from above thing, and I just didn't do it right. More Rin. And then, ooh, this one is kind of spoilery. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that. Basically, when I was moving on to rewrite more stories, I realized that, considering what happened to Tsukino before she started high school, I don't think she is the kind of person who would take all the shit Yoru does without retaliating. So I let her retaliate, and it's 3,000 words, and it doesn't even have, like, everything else that needs to be in that story, but it's written, and I like it, and I just need to clean it up and make it more coherent. But yeah, Tsukino retaliated, and it got messy. Oh, I lied. More Sonic. I was watching, if you want to watch Sonic the Hedgehog playthroughs with good, really good commentary, you should watch Hellfire Comms. And if you don't want commentary, they actually have a commentary-less channel. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but if you go to Hellfire Comms, you can find a link to it there. But they do really good commentaries over a lot of different games, of course, but they do basically all of the Sonic stuff as well, and I love them. Most of them are British, which helps me a lot because I love the British accent. But yeah, I was watching their old Black Knights playthrough, and I wanted more knights. There are, like, besides the three mains, I don't know, I'm talking about Sonic and the Black Knight, oh my god. I never thought I'd do this. But, basically the knights you get, there is a multiplayer mode, or what you want to call it, versus mode, and besides Sonic, Shadow, Blaze and Knuckles, you can also get Jet and Silver, I think. I'm not sure if there are any more after that because I've actually not watched a lot of it. I don't own any Nintendo consoles either, so I haven't played it. But I wanted more female knights was the thing, because Blaze plays Percival, and I wanted more female knights. So I looked up a lot of the knights from Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and I found Tristan, which I thought would fit Amy a lot because Tristan has a bow for a weapon, and classic Amy, or comic Amy, I'm not sure which I should refer to, had a crossbow for a weapon. So yeah, that's why I thought that would work. And then for Rouge, Rouge should have been a knight, honestly, and if not a knight, she could have been the Lady of the Lake, and then Amy could have been a knight. I would have liked that. But I made her Gareth, which is, what was it? Brother to, not Galahad, Gawain, and Gawain is played by Knuckles. And then Gareth was also knighted by Lancelot, and Lancelot is played by Shadow, so I just thought it fit really well, and I gave her a whip sword because I thought that would fit her really well. I spent a lot of time on that. On this page we have more Alex and Lucas. This one I'm really sad about because Lucas turned out really pretty, but then I drew Alex's head too small, and it just makes me sad because it doesn't look good. This one's cute though. And in November, Sonic 2 turns 25, and I'm planning on getting a Sonic tattoo. And this was just a few initial ideas I had. This is nothing like what I'm thinking about getting now, but I like really obscure, like inside joke tattoos. I mean, unless you've played the game and like really played the game and love the character, you probably don't know where this is from. But yeah, so I like tattoos like that. Like my tattoo for Persona 3, when I get that, it's just gonna be the constellation Gemini, because of reasons, and I'm gonna let you figure that out on your own until I get it, at least. Then I'm probably gonna talk about it. But yeah, more Sonic stuff. I probably stuffed more Sonic stuff in here than I thought I did. On this page, I was listening to Sweet Dream and Sweet 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 by Dreams Come True, which is the English versus the Japanese version of that song, and that song was used as the ending for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it was remixed for 06. I just really love that song. So I drew some gay ships because I could, some Sonado, and I've never said those names out loud, by the way. And I'm not sure what Amy Blaze would be, honestly. Blamey? Blaze me? Maybe? And then some carnations, just because I wanted to fill out the page. I had a lot of empty space and couldn't really fit any more character portraits in, so that's what I did. This page I referenced entirely, except for this one in here, but I referenced all of these tiny classic Sonics off of art from Google, so I take no creative credit for this at all. These are all just copies of other people's artwork. That is amazing. This one is probably the only one that's official. The other ones are just... People are so good at making cute fan art of classic Sonic, like, oh my god. I love it so much. And I can't draw classic Sonic because I've never done it, so I wanted to practice. Oh, there is... Hold on. Let me murder you. Oh, damn it. There is a mosquito in my room, and I have telltale signs of it all over my legs. So I'm trying to murder it as soon as I see it, but it keeps escaping. And here we have some Bokura no Monogatari stuff. This was probably from day 3, actually. I wanted to continue the trend, but it didn't go very well. So I drew Tsukino and Mayura. I realized I've actually never drawn, only once or twice, I've drawn bigger people like wearing bikinis or bathing suits, so I realized that one didn't turn out very nice, and I realized I need to practice. The Tsukino one is actually pretty bad too. She looks very chibi for some reason. And they are kids. I mean, when this goes on, they're in high school, so I'm not sure why I'm so bothered by it. And yeah, terrible drawings of Tsukino and Mayura. Don't erase and forget, learn. Which is something I do a lot. I tend to erase really bad sketches, but I'm trying to force myself to leave them instead and just move on to the next page. These, if you watch my videos, you've all seen. They are the sketches for 2 of the pieces I did for my Bokura no Monogatari zines. So, yes. And on the next page, here's another one. This one I haven't done yet, but I don't think I'm going to use this pose for him because it doesn't quite show what it needs to show. But yeah, these were more sketches for the Bokura no Monogatari zine. Drew some Mori style clothing. It was for an idea I had. Some thumbnails for another idea thing. Some more Sonic art. Drew Blaze. Blaze is probably my favorite female character. She is my favorite female character. And if you're wondering who my favorite male character is, it's Knuckles. And as you can see, I don't draw him because I've never been able to do Knuckles justice in my drawings, and I feel bad because he is my favorite, so I just don't draw him. I should though, I really should. But yeah, just some Blaze. Oh, I like this one. I just started doing headshots of all the characters because I felt like I hadn't drawn them in a really long time, and it turned out into this kind of poster-esque thing. And if you're new, I can probably introduce you. Tsuki no Tsubasa, Kazu, Sigma, and Epsilon, and then it's Yoru and Mayura. And these symbols you see here, they are what I use to represent them as characters. Usually I put it next to them when I draw them. So yeah. Yoru is the only one I'm not quite happy with. I'm not sure, I did something with his face and it doesn't quite look like him. His eyes look too nice, honestly. I was out and about, so I did some sketching. Honestly, this dude walked past and he had huge black sunglasses on, and then his hat was pulled down over his ears and down over the sunglasses. So it was like the edge of the beanie or whatever you want to call it. It was actually on his sunglasses. It looked dumb. So I had to draw it. My cup of coffee. Here's the start of the end of the sketchbook that I finished in 4 days. New thumbnails for art I wanted to do for my zine, an OOTD, and then just a space filler. But yeah, so I decided to finish the sketchbook last weekend, and I did. Yeah, time to fill this sketchbook. So I went on Pinterest and just grabbed reference after reference and drew, because I just wanted to be done so I could move on to my next one. These are probably some of the best. Like this first one, I really like it. It turned out really nice. And most of these you've seen because I think on the next page is where I actually started the video, but I did flip through all this stuff anyway. I like this one too. Oh, and this one. And then I started to simplify it because I spent way too much time on faces. I actually did not get it. God damn. But yeah, just a lot of drawings from reference. I started doing these really tiny things, and that really made me focus on the shape rather than the details, because I get stuck in the details a lot. Added some flowers too because I didn't draw properly on the page, so I had a lot of empty space left. These two were drawn from drawn references, so these were like, this is the exact drawing. They had no faces, they had no clothes, and I felt it didn't help me a lot because I don't know, it wasn't helpful in a way I thought it would be. Some expressions, just really quick. And then I did this page where I looked up just huge expression references and drew. This one was extremely helpful. It started with, I found this back reference of women and men in jeans. These were drawn references, by the way. And then I found this one, which was a naked reference with guidelines for the shapes, and it helped a ton. It just made it really easy because they used the same shapes, but they used them differently. So there's one upside down teardrop, and then there's a longer teardrop. They're the same for both, but where the upside down teardrop go in, you follow the line with female form, but for the male, you go in slightly and then you go straight down because they're not that curvy, and it visualized the difference for me so much. Like I struggle a lot with male torso anatomy, so that just really opened my eyes. It was really interesting. Moving on to more of these sketches. I really like that one and this one because that was a difficult pose. This one turned out really cute too. Some more stuff. I like this one because it was two people. You probably can't see it because of how well exposed it is, but it was basically two people standing next to each other, and it turned out looking really good. Also added some flowers on that page because again, wasted space. Tried to find some good male references. This man was very pretty, but I have a thing for knitted shirts, and he was wearing nothing but a knitted sweater, so he was just gorgeous. Yes, I'm that kind of person. Got tired of drawing humans for a bit, so I drew some flowers. most of the time when I try to draw flowers, I find botanical illustrations really helpful because they're detailed enough to be realistic, but they're also very specific. They're very deliberate. They're like studies. So I study studies. And then this page is a page of regret because it took so long. It turned out nice, but ooh, so long. And more poses. I did some small ones and then they slowly grew bigger. I like this one because of how I did the folds on the shirt. This one too, because the glasses look nice. And then here, I realized here I was starting to get tired of it. They didn't look very nice anymore. This one is pretty good. So I did a giant one that I finished a little bit more just to change it up a bit. And then on the last page there are more pose studies. These two tiny ones are probably my favorite. But yeah, that was the entirety of this sketchbook, and I've been sitting here for half an hour, I think. So I am just gonna say thank you so much for watching, and also again I just want to say thanks one more time for 1,000 subscribers. It still amazes me a lot that we came that far, that we've come that far, and it's still going up. So I really appreciate all of you new people who are still subscribing. It means a ton. And update on the giveaway status. I have now ordered all the pieces that I need for the giveaway, so it's going to take about a month before they arrive. So around the end of September, maybe even the beginning of October is when I'll be able to actually host the giveaway. So stick around for that. It will be coming. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please do, if you haven't, take a moment to subscribe. You can hit that button, join in for more fun art videos. You can also follow me on my social media. Links to those will be down below, as well as to my Etsy and my Redbubble store. Check those out if you'd like. Until next time, keep on scribbling, friends. Bye! Now I'm going to murder a mosquito. Come here. Come on. Ha! Got him.